Hello and welcome to another episode of Teens on the Road, the one and only podcast for full-time RVing teenagers. I'm your hostess, Kayla, and here with us today is fellow nomad Braxton.
Hello.
We will be discussing his thoughts on RV living and some of the experiences he's had over the years. Hi, and welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We are happy to have you. Tell us where you are in the world.
We are in Sevierville, Tennessee. It's near Pigeon Forge.
Awesome. And what are you guys doing there?
We are hanging out. I'm getting some in-person banjo lessons with my banjo teacher, and just hanging out for the majority of the part.
Awesome. I know you love the banjo.
Oh yes, I love it.
Well, let's get started. What is your family's story? What prompted you guys to start traveling?
So our family story is that my dad's from South Carolina, and my mom's from Oklahoma. And my dad was stationed in Oklahoma and met my mom. They married, and they went to Italy, and then they strangely went back to Oklahoma and had me. I could have been born in Italy, still holding that against them.
Hey, I'm with you there.
I
Okies all the way.
know, right? And then we moved to Germany when I was about to turn 3. And then before we moved back to the United States, I went to my mom. It's like, what language do they speak there? And my mom's like, uh, English. And I'm like, sweet, I know that language.
That's funny.
And then we moved to Colorado, and we lived there for 5 years before we went on the road.
And you guys lived in Colorado Springs, right?
Yes, Colorado Springs. Yes, ma'am.
Nice. So, did you know any German before you moved?
Very, very little.
Okay. I was wondering.
Talking
I was
one.
wondering if you asked her that question in German.
Do what?
I was wondering if you asked her what language do they speak in German, because it kind of confused me, but that's funny.
No, no. I asked it in English.
That's funny. Awesome. So, when did you guys start traveling?
We started traveling 2019. Then yeah, we moved into the RV in 2018, and we lived in it for 3 months before we went on the road the next year. But yeah, my dad had just retired from the military, and we hadn't seen any of the United States. My dad has been fighting for this country for 21 years, and so we wanted to see it, and then we wanted to spend more time with each other. And so my mom came up with this idea, and she came to my dad, and he's like, no, that's crazy.
I
And
know
then
a lot of people think that at first.
yeah, and then he started watching a bunch of YouTube channels, and he's like, wow, other people do this. And then he came back to my mom, and he's like, okay, we can do this. And then my mom's like, what? You're not supposed to agree with me.
That's funny.
Eh,
Yeah, it's did you watch Keep Your Daydream or something?
Yep, he watched Keep Your Daydream and Less Junk, More Journey and All About RVs, and we watched a whole bunch of them.
Cool. So you guys got out right before COVID.
Yeah, it was like the year, like the whole year before COVID. We started in like February of 2019.
Okay. That's cool. You got a whole year.
Yeah, whole year before the crazy.
Yeah, really. So how did you adjust to that initial change? You were 11, 12?
I had just turned 12. I adjusted pretty well actually, because we had already lived in it for a few months, and
Right.
I was homeschooled. I've been homeschooled since kindergarten, so I was fine with that. But it was a little bit difficult because my grandpa had been living with us for 9 years, and like when we moved in the RV, he didn't want it to travel with us, so that was a little difficult.
Mm.
It did. Once we started traveling a good bit, the loneliness started to get to me, not having enough friends. And
Yeah.
but then going to rallies and stuff like that, I've learned to grow, and I've grown through that loneliness and, learned to appreciate the time I have with people and, meeting new and different people and just kind of grown through, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I get it. It's like your social life changes.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's like one of the best things about full-time families is that they understand the lonely part because when you're out on the road, it can feel like there's not a lot of other families.
Right.
So
When
that's
it,
the best
yeah.
part about it.
And then everyone gets the same feeling, so they're all very welcoming
Yeah.
and you meet some awesome people on the road, at least I have.
Yeah, totally. So was there something you thought you would hate but ended up liking?
Um I thought I didn't, I had, growing up in the or get, being used to a house, you accumulate a lot of stuff.
Mm,
I thought I would hate, not having a lot of stuff, but then, I've learned like that's just a bunch of junk I don't need.
yeah, really.
And then like I had a whole bunch of activities and stuff going on in the week and like when we were stationary, like I had taekwondo and I had co-op and I was around people all the time and that I still miss doing taekwondo, but I I love being on the road and I also thought I hate the small space, but
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah, I know. When you like first move out and you're just going through all your junk, you really don't realize how much you have
Yeah,
until that point.
it's like why do I even have this?
Yeah.
I don't need it.
And then on the road, you're constantly having to go through stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Gotta purge it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're over the weight limit.
Yes. Well, I
What?
know we're way over the weight limit already, but
Yeah.
it's
What
what it
are we?
is. Okay, so was there something you thought you would like but ended up hating?
I don't. I don't think so. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that you think you'll like about RV life and then you end up liking, so it's like
Yeah.
it's a very rare question to be answered, I guess.
Yeah. It is. I mean, I don't have any negative thoughts about traveling. I mean, I love the lifestyle, and I love it.
Not a single negative thought.
Uh, I mean, everything has its ups and downs. You might break down, or something like that. You might blow a tire, but
It's
I,
stuck in the mud.
yeah, I get stuck in the mud. But there's always I don't know. You could always think positively on anything.
It's a good mindset to have.
Mhm.
So, do you have any advice for other teens?
That's actually a good lead in because like the advice I have is like always think positive because there's always a
Mhm.
positive side to everything. I mean, there's loneliness, but you learn to appreciate the time you have with people much better and you have more fun with friends than you ever have before than when you're with them every day all day.
Mm.
And you know I would also say push yourself to and put yourself out there and push yourself out of your comfort zone because like when you do that it really you
You're able to grow.
yeah, exactly, you're able to grow, you're able to become a better person and learn and yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nobody ever got anywhere when within their comfort zone.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger, my dad like would talk to me about that, like don't get comfortable, don't be comfortable. And I
Yeah.
didn't understand that. And then we started traveling, and I was like, oh yeah, you can't grow when you're comfortable.
Yeah. It's like life's not always comfortable.
Yeah. Well, for some people, it is comfortable, and they like it comfortable, and they don't grow.
That is true.
So that is, I think, the defining trait of RV life is you're gonna grow.
Yes, exactly. There's always something that you can grow through for sure. You're going through and growing through.
Yes, pretty much. All right. So, what is a place or experience that you will never forget?
I loved the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It was
Michigan.
beautiful up there. Oh my gosh. And then there was also like Yellowstone, Yellowstone and Upper Peninsula. Uh, it's always hard to choose, but those two places really stick out in my mind.
Gotcha. So, what is so special about the Upper Peninsula of Michigan? I haven't heard that before.
Really? Well, it's just like there's not a lot of city up there, and it's very mountainous, but then you
Mhm.
have like the beaches of like these huge lakes, and then there's springs up there that are just like this beautiful clear turquoise water. And like we went to this place called Kitchitakippi, and like it was like a 20 foot deep spring, and you can see clear down to the bottom, and there's like huge fish in there. It's like I don't know how big the fish were. They were I can't even explain it.
Massive.
Massive, yeah. And then you can see the water bubbling up from the ground on the bottom. It's pretty
Wow.
cool.
Sounds
It,
like, I guess it is on the border of Canada.
it is. In fact, like we were at a place called Whitefish Bay, and we went to the shipwreck museum there, and they've got this lighthouse, and we went up into it, and like our phone said welcome to Canada, and like we could
Ah,
see it across the bay.
that's so cool.
Yeah, it was
Welcome
crazy.
to Canada. I didn't have
Yeah,
to go through customs.
exactly. It's like I'm not in
Now,
Canada.
yeah. No, not yet.
Not yet.
I know. We love Glacier. We actually go to our favorite place up there is Whitefish, Montana, 15 minutes from Glacier National Park.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
cool.
it's so beautiful.
Glacier yet. We need to go over there.
Oh, you have to. It's amazing.
I've heard good things about it.
It's beautiful. It's like little Norway.
Really? I haven't
Yes.
been there either.
My parents are going to real Norway this month, so I'm kind of jealous.
Really? Oh,
Yes.
sweet. Nice.
So, yeah, I know. So jealous. Do you have
Alright.
a bucket list for the future?
Yes, I would definitely say so. Like we have like we've always said we need to go to Grand Canyon, and so we still haven't done it yet. And I've always wanted to go to see Washington D.C. and um maybe go scuba diving. I think that would be fun.
Mm, that sounds cool.
And like you can definitely check off things off a bucket list when you travel, because like I remember in Padre, like I've always wanted to go surfing, and was finally able to learn how to surf in Padre. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
Camille talked about that.
Yes, I think we were there at the same time. I think we took the same class actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I've wanted to learn how to surf too. We lived in Charleston, and
Yeah.
like you can like boogie board surf in Charleston, but you can't actually surf very well because the waves are just Atlantic size.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually found it harder to boogie board than it is to surf. Weird.
We just like held it against our chest and then kind of used it as a surfboard.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
found that harder?
Huh?
You found that harder?
Yeah, well, when I hadn't boogie boarded it after in a while, like after I took the surfing class and I tried to do boogie boarding, I just found it a little bit more difficult than it was to surf. I don't know why.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I guess everybody's different. We've
Yeah,
all boogie boarded and never surfed, so surfing for me is probably going to be a very big challenge.
yeah.
Where would you never go again?
There's this one place in Nebraska. Do not recommend it at all. But so there were, so the reviews were great. I mean, it was an awesome campground. It was It was so cute and done up, and the people were phenomenal that ran it. But there was this train that was literally across the road,
Ugh.
and there were 3 crossings, and there was a train literally every hour blowing
Ugh.
the horn constantly. It went through the night.
That sucks.
Yes, it was horrible.
I
Yeah.
can just hear the pain in your voice.
Yes. it's like
Yikes.
it's like you can hear it in your sleep. I can hear it in my head as I'm talking about it right now.
Having PTSD visions, yes.
Yes.
If you could, what would you change about your RV setup?
I would definitely have a room
A
because
room?
I used to have like we had like bunk beds because when my grandpa was staying here, we needed the bunks, but
Yeah,
then he moved out, so we took the top bunk out, and I've got the bottom bunk and have that whole space, but it's still not the same as if I were to have a room, because like
right.
when I'm practicing my banjo, that's a very loud and obnoxious instrument apparently. And like I've got to practice it every so often, and my parents don't like me practicing right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it is loud.
Yeah, so I've got to have like an enclosed space, you know, I can
Yeah.
stretch a bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, me and my sister are spoiled. We have the master bedroom in our toy hauler.
Oh, yes, I've seen your rig. It is
Mhm.
awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Your mom did the good job on design too.
Yes, she does a very good job at that. I will
Yeah.
admit.
Apparently mine looks like Oklahoma. Don't piss me off.
I'm sorry. I just I just got the Oklahoma vibe. I don't know why.
It's farmhouse. It's understandable.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm at the end of my questionnaire here. Do you have any closing thoughts or questions for me?
Uh, Closing thought, I would say, for anyone listening out there, just enjoy the lifestyle that you're living. Because, like, there's so many people that are just dreaming to live the life that you're living. And you just got to appreciate what, just appreciate it.
Yeah.
But, and then I do have a question for you. What's your family story?
My family story. So I was born in Oklahoma, Okie.
Yeah.
We moved to Charleston when I was 7, and we lived there for 7 years. And we got in the groove. We went to a co-op. I've been homeschooled since basically forever.
Uh-huh.
We went to a co-op. I did my tennis lessons, and Charleston's beautiful. We were very spoiled there. Had our own bubble, and it was nice. I miss living there, and I miss my friends. But in 2018, my mom was like, "Hey, I think I want to like travel. I want to go see America with our kids before they're gone."
Yeah.
And so since 2018, we have been researching RV life, saving up the money to do it, looking for the perfect RV. A lot of RVers I've noticed, they don't like their RV, perhaps because they didn't spend as much time as we did looking for an RV. We
Yeah.
went from classes to mid bunks, you name it, we looked at it.
Golly.
And so 2020 hit, and that was a major slowdown for us because we were planning on leaving that summer,
Oh, God.
but it didn't happen. And so it kept getting pushed back, but we eventually got the money to do it. And so we bought our rig, our 45-foot long toy hauler rig,
Yeah.
and then spent 2 months remodeling it while at the same time remodeling a house that we had to sell. We
Mhm.
were up at midnight sometimes eating McDonald's. It was stressful, but and then by May we had to get out of the house we were in because it was a rental. So in May we went to Texas, dropped off our sentimental things that we didn't want in the RV but still wanted to keep, and then stayed there and in Oklahoma for about 2 months. And then finally, in late June of 2021, we went to Colorado. And that summer we did Colorado and then Yellowstone and Idaho, Utah. We just did like the West, but not West Coast.
Uh,
So
Sweet.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It is long and has many memories. Like I remember when we were in Texas at my aunt's ranch.
Uh-huh.
We got majorly stuck in the mud.
Oh gosh.
We got the rig stuck in the mud.
Oh.
Our rig has 3 axles, so we had to prop up the rig with the jacks, bent the jacks, and put boards under there so we could get it out.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. We broke ourselves in that month.
Oh gosh.
But we haven't had a major problem since, so
Oh, that's good.
it's taught us, yes.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Always learning through experiences.
Yep, you're growing.
I know, right? Huh.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Braxton.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And thanks to all you nomads out there for listening. If you want to be on the podcast, say hi, or follow us on social media, check out our link below. And be sure to share Teens on the Road with your friends. Thanks again for listening and have fun out there.